Hi friends, today I am giving a demo of LlamaIndex Agents where I can invoke separate functions. These functions or tools act as business processes or workflow for a marketing automation software. For example, see the diagram here. There are three separate processes for a workflow. So here we want to send an email. So first of all, we have to define a segment. The segment is nothing but different type of customers or persona of customers. So you can define different type of segments. Then what you can do is you can send them a personalized email. So for each segment, there can be a separate email which can be invoked. Now here what we are going to use is we are going to use clipdrops API and we are going to generate an image for this particular segment. Now thirdly, what we can do is we can send email to these segment and we can use some REST API. For example, we'll be using MailJet's API to send it. Now, the important point here is that with our agent, we can invoke all these business processes, or I would say call it them as different tools, or what we can do is we can call them individually. So basically, based on our conversation, the agent is going to decide which tool or which business process or which function to call. So this will be a very short demo, but it is worthwhile to explore. And again, there could be some safeguards for it. So here is what is going to come. So if you see this email, now this email was generated by this agent. So basically, what I did was I defined some email to which to send, and this is my own email. Then using clipdrop, I generated some images. So basically, I generated an image of panda using, eating apple, and this is was done with clipdrops API, and then with MailJet's API, I was able to send this email with some dummy text and all. But again, it was all done by conversational interface. So basically, I wrote something. I said, give me this image, send it to this, and do that, and it invoked appropriate tools or functions to send this. So yeah, let's get started. So before starting, there are two prerequisites. So one is we need access to REST APIs by clipdrop. So basically, there are many tools available by clipdrop, but we will be using text to images tool. So basically, we will be passing some text to REST API and we are going to generate some images. So this service is just like DALI or Midjourney. The second prerequisite will be again MailJet, which is to send emails, and there's a pretty good documentation given here. So I have used a very simple REST API to send email, but again, if you wanted to go into details, you can use this also. And there are different SDKs for different languages provided. I have used Python. So let's see the code. So basically here I am installing two things. So one is LlamaIndex and second is MailJet REST. So basically I'm using LlamaIndex for this specific demo, but again you can use LangChain or any other framework also. MailJet REST is to get access to MailJet's REST APIs. And again there are some libraries like Pillow to resize the images. Now in the first step, what I'm trying to do is I'm just putting some configuration. So basically, all the things which are necessary. For example, from OpenAI's perspective, the key, from MailJet's perspective, public token as well as private token. That's what I'm setting. Again, going down, these are all boilerplate that I'm going to use at the bottom. So basically, whenever we make a tool or function within LlamaIndex, we can make it like a function tool. So that's what is used here. So let me walk through the first function. So basically get recipient is nothing but a function which is going to return you a list of email with names. And this is a dummy example, but what you can do is in real life, you can fetch from a particular DB. So you might have separate emails and you can fetch it from that database. Now this is another function which is doing nothing, but what it's trying to do is it is just resizing the image to half a size. So basically, when I get images from clip drop, the resolution is very high. So I'm just trying to make it like little smaller. That's what is happening here. Now here is where my special functions come into the picture. So each function, for example, the function which we are going to invoke using LlamaIndex agent, they need some sort of structure. So for example, what is going to happen is I'm going to define this function in a different manner, and at runtime when LlamaIndex agent is going to call, it is going to invoke a decision that which function or tool to call. So I have defined here four functions, and based on what I have provided to the LlamaIndex agent, it can decide whether it has to call this function or some other function and so on. And it's all based on natural language. So basically the secret sauce is this line here. So basically you are just defining what type of function, or what is the purpose of this particular function, and based on that this particular function is getting called. So for example, here it is simple. So what I am doing is I'm just calling it generate text to images, and the purpose for it is generating text to images API. So basically I'm just calling clip drop API, and what I'm going to pass it inside is few words. For example, let's say in our case what we are going to do is we are going to call text where we are going to just ask that can you please provide me some sort of image where a panda is eating, let's say, a fruit and all. So that is what this text is all about. So for text to images you need text, so that is what it is. The next function which I have used is again plain, for sending plain email. So basically this is a email, this is a function which can be used to send an email where if you want to have no images at all. So let's say think about plain text. Again, there is no necessity for it, but again I just try to make it like this. The third tool or third function is about sending email with images. So basically if you see its description, it is sending email with images. So basically what it gets is again a list of recipients, then a p text, and this is nothing but the text to images. For the text to images model, what you have to send as a text, that is what it is. So from clip drops perspective, the text that you are going to send, that is what it represent. And again the file name which will be generated, that's what it is. So basically when you will invoke the API of clip drop, you will get an image, you will have to save it, and this is what is going to be used. Again, what this function does is once it has all those three things available, it sends an email, and this code is for all of that thing. So basically what we define here is two functions and four separate special functions or tools which will be called by our agent. Now to make them special, what you need to do is again invoke them using function tools. So basically what you are trying to do is you are just wrapping it inside function tools. By this, what is going to happen is at runtime, LlamaIndex agent might know which tool or which function to call. So that's what is going to happen, and I will just have a walkthrough right now. Now here what we are trying to do is we are just defining our agent which is going to invoke all these functions. So this is our agent. Our agent is nothing but a GPT 3.5 turbo model. And what we are going to do is we are going to send it, these four functions or, tools. So basically based on what we have conversed with it, it is going to make a call either to one function or a chain of functions. So that's what it is going to do. Now here is I am interacting with it. I said hi. It gave me response, hello, how I can assist you today. So no special function or tool was called. Now in second one, what I did was, see here I said generate image from pandas eating vegetables and fruits. So by using this, what this agent did was, it know that I am talking about, this specific tool and nothing at all. So that's why you can see it called, my function, which is gen text image, and it gives a text which is pandas eating vegetables and fruits. With that, what is going to happen is clip drops API is going to be get called, and what I am going to get is my one kind of image in my Google Drive. For example, the image which might have been generated is this. So this was the image which was generated by ClipDrop API, and it was saved in this drive. Now, if you see the second function, here I am saying sending email without image but with the following title wow. So basically, I am sending email but without an image, and I'm just saying give it a title wow. So basically, if you see the first function which gets called is get recipients, where we are getting email IDs. Then second function which is getting called is again the mailjet API. So for example, this function which is send plain email tool, that is going to be get called, and it is not accepting any images. So basically, if you see, this is the email which was triggered, and this is without images. So thirdly, what I do is I chat with it and I said generate image from panda eating apple and send email with image and the following title llama image. So basically, first it is going to create something from the text which I passed. So for example, panda eating apple. So it is going to generate some image. Then it is going to call the second tool, which is get recipients with get recipients, which actually collects all the email IDs. So that's what is the second function which gets called. The third function is send image email. So basically, once I have all the recipients, and then once I have all the images and all, then what I'm going to do is I'm just passing everything to this function, and it accepts both the image as well as recipients, and it generates this email and sends to them. So that's what is going to happening. So basically, it says response is 200. Again, this is HTTP response, and I have generated an image and I have sent this like this. So basically, instead of calling one function or two function, it called three functions in a chain. First to get the images, second to get the recipients, and third to send it. And because of that, this email was generated. So this email was generated using these things. So yeah, this is a small demo, and this is I wanted to show you. Again, agents are evolving day by day, so there are like many plethora of frameworks which are coming. For example, AutoGen, LangChain have agents, LlamaIndex have agents, Haystack have agents. But yeah, I like the way the LlamaIndex has done its documentation and provided some examples. So that's why I use this. So thank you, team. Thank you for watching.